3 o'clock, are you ready to unlock the secrets to peak productivity and well-being? Glowing star, join us as we dive into Uptime, a practical guide to personal productivity and well-being, where Google's executive productivity advisor, Laura Mae Martin, shares her game-changing insights on how to make the new way of work for you. Books, key. In this video, we'll explore Laura's actionable strategies that have empowered thousands of Google employees, from interns to top executives, to achieve calm accomplishment in their professional and personal lives. Person in lotus position, briefcase. Discover how to optimize your time, prevent burnout, and cultivate a harmonious work-life balance with concrete steps that help you focus on your priorities, manage your inbox, master your calendar, and run excellent meetings. Whether you're working from home, at the office, or juggling both, Laura's holistic approach will help you thrive in any environment. Africa, sparkles. Don't miss out on this blueprint for operating at the highest levels of productivity while enhancing your personal well-being. Hit that subscribe button, like, and turn on notifications to stay updated with more tips and insights on productivity and well-being. Rocket, bell. People often spend too much time closing loops, executing tasks, and not enough time opening new loops, generating ideas and long-term thinking. Balance is needed between the two. The best ideas often come when taking breaks from focused work, like during a shower, commute, or restful activity unrelated to work. Meeting times are less conducive to new ideas. A productivity system should have 5 stages for each loop or task: calm, taking a break, create, generating a new idea, capture, recording the idea, consolidate, scheduling next steps, close, executing and completing the task. Treating time like a limited bank account or budget is important. It's okay to set boundaries and prioritize how one spends their time. Some activities require or use up more energy than others. Blocking time on a calendar is only the first step. Energy levels and focus also impact productivity. Not all time slots are equal in terms of being able to focus and generate high-quality work. When planning and prioritizing, it's important to do so from the perspective of future me rather than just current preferences and priorities, in order to set oneself up for long-term success and satisfaction. Define your top 3 priorities clearly. These should be the major focuses of your time and energy. Regularly reevaluate them as needed. Connect specific high-impact tasks to each priority to determine how to achieve them. Tasks should be concrete actions that map to your calendar. Check how your calendar aligns with your priorities. Highlight calendar items related to each priority to see how much time is really being spent on what's important. Manage non-priority tasks carefully so they don't take over. Things not in your top 3 still need space, but shouldn't fill up all your time before top priorities. Think how future you will view your current actions and time allocation. Make choices future you will be glad about in terms of focus and turning things down. Actively track progress on priorities through check-ins, pre-reviews, and keep your priorities and tasks updated based on feedback and changes. The key is to clearly define top priorities, connect tasks to achieve them, and ensure your time and calendar align with actually working on the right high-impact activities. The author discusses how urgent matters often come up and disrupt planned work. Some executives set aside daily blocks of time for urgent issues so they don't derail other priorities. It's important to distinguish between urgent/important versus urgent/not important. Truly urgent and important issues should be prioritized, while less important urgent tasks can be delegated or minimized. If the same urgent issues keep recurring, the underlying systems and processes may need to be examined and improved to prevent fire drills. For roles where urgent matters are frequent, it's important to make dealing with them a top priority so time can be left flexible in schedules. Going forward with clear priorities in mind, it's important to consistently evaluate new requests and say no when things don't align, in order to maintain focus on what really matters. Regularly assessing progress on priorities is also suggested. In summary, the author provides strategies for proactively addressing urgent issues that arise, such as setting aside dedicated time blocks, prioritizing according to importance, fixing recurring problems, and maintaining focus on key priorities despite other requests. Regular evaluation and saying no to non-aligned tasks is presented as important for productivity. Prioritizing is not just reordering your to-do list, but figuring out what to remove from your list and calendar altogether to make room for higher priorities. Saying no to good things leaves space for great things. Tools to determine what to remove include identifying the lower 1/3 of tasks on a brain dump list and asking what the worst outcome would be of not doing each task, if someone else could do it, or if it could be half done. This helps delegate, streamline, or cut corners. It's important to know the value of your own time so you can determine if a task is worth doing yourself or paying/delegating someone else. Factors like enjoyment, time to delegate, opportunity cost, and pride in completion all influence this decision. Saying yes to one thing inherently means saying no to other opportunities, so it's important to be thoughtful about commitments in order to leave space for higher priorities and avoid overscheduling. Learning to say no respectfully is a key productivity skill. Saying yes to one thing like a new meeting or commitment means implicitly or indirectly saying no to other things like time for other projects, time with family, etc. It's important to consciously recognize what you may be giving up. When current responsibilities start feeling overwhelming, it may help to launch and iterate, temporarily reduce some commitments for a trial period to see if it helps, get feedback, and refine the approach. Not everything can be dropped permanently. 5 strategies for saying no to new requests in a balanced way. Ask questions to understand better, see if it aligns with priorities, take time before deciding, share thought process for declining, imagine scenarios of saying yes or no. Saying no but offering an alternative like initial email discussion instead of meeting, or diverting the request to someone else, are good ways to say no without fully declining. Temporary or trial reductions of commitments can help rebalance workload over time. The list funnel is a system for organizing all your to-dos from the big picture to the hourly details. It helps consolidate and filter tasks based on time, energy, and priorities. The main list is at the top of the funnel. It contains everything you need to or want to do, without timelines. It is divided into categories like work, personal, tasks requiring computer/phone/errands. The weekly list takes items from the main list and assigns them to specific days that week. The daily list outlines your top priorities and habits for each day. The hour-by-hour plan breaks down your day into hourly slots, detailing exactly when each task or action item will be completed. The funnel method helps move tasks from your brain onto paper/digitally in an organized way. It provides a system to plan tasks from a macro view down to the micro details of your day. The lists interact so your large goals can be achieved piece by piece through hourly planning. Here are the key points about the daily, weekly, and main lists. The main list is a brain dump of all your open tasks and projects. It's everything you want to get done eventually. Weekly list is created each week by selecting relevant items from the main list based on what you can reasonably accomplish. It also includes recurring tasks, habits, and daily themes. Daily list contains the specific tasks and meetings for each day, including a top priority task and other priorities from the weekly list. It includes an hour-by-hour schedule. It also has quick snack-sized tasks that can be done in short breaks, and tracks items not finished that day to carry over. At the end of each day, completed items are crossed off the weekly list. Weekly and daily lists help drive tasks from the larger main list by breaking them into manageable chunks. The lists provide structure to identify priorities, plan workload, and ensure items don't fall through the cracks over time. Consistency with the lists promotes productivity and management of energy levels. It's important to understand your natural energy flows and schedule difficult or mentally demanding tasks for when you're most alert and productive. Not all time slots are equal. People have different circadian rhythms, biological sleep-wake cycles, that determine whether they are a morning person or night owl. This is largely determined by biology. The author and her husband have opposite schedules. She feels tired at 2 p.m. while that's his favorite time for a workout. He wants to discuss finances at 11 p.m. when she's asleep. Paying attention to your energy levels, for example noticing when you start to feel tired, can help you schedule your day productively. Meetings may be out of your control, but free time blocks don't need to be scheduled against your natural flow. Children also seem to have innate circadian rhythms. For example, the author's daughter prefers reading in the morning rather than at night when she's tiring. She enjoys sitting and listening to books around lunchtime. Charting your productivity patterns involves observing when you feel most and least productive over a couple weeks, and noticing any patterns. This helps identify your power hours, the 2 to 3 hours a day you feel most focused and able to do heads-down work on priorities. During power hours, block time on your calendar for strategic, individual work on top priorities. Shift other commitments like meetings to other times if possible. Use your off-peak hours for lower energy tasks like meetings, creative work, catching up on emails, or reading. Research shows we can be more creative when tired. Get in the habit of only scheduling tasks during times when you feel like doing them. Don't force yourself to work if you're not in the mood. Periodically check your assumptions about what works best. Be flexible and capitalize on extra productive times even if unplanned. Use a zero-based approach to calendar everything from scratch based on current priorities and energy levels, rather than just keeping existing meetings and commitments. This helps maximize productivity. Here are the key points about thinking through an ideal calendar template. Take a blank calendar and start fresh, without commitments already on it. This allows you to design your ideal schedule. First, add fixed commitments that can't move, like certain meetings. Block your most productive power hours for focused work on important projects. These may vary on different days of the week. Reserve off-peak hours for tasks requiring less focus, like emails or breaks. Schedule brief points of control periods to plan your week/day, like Monday mornings. Consider general daily themes to go deeper on topics without switching context too much. Leave some days entirely unplanned for flexibility without commitments. Use this template as your starting point each week to schedule meetings and tasks according to periods of high/low focus. Implement changes gradually over time rather than all at once. The template sets up an ideal future schedule rather than blowing up the current one. Designing an ideal calendar template provides a structure to maximize productivity while respecting periods of high/low focus and energy levels throughout the week. It's a fresh start approach to scheduling priorities and commitments. The passage recommends conducting a time review to analyze how your time is currently spent. This involves listing all recurring meetings, commitments, and responsibilities in a spreadsheet and calculating how much total time per week/month/quarter is spent on each. Sorting by total time can reveal where the most time is going and identify opportunities to make strategic changes. Even small adjustments like decreasing meeting frequencies or durations can significantly free up time. Changes don't need to be permanent. Try them for a trial period and adjust as needed. An overall time review only takes 30 minutes but can potentially save hours each week to reallocate according to priorities. Seeing your schedule broken down quantitatively in this way provides clarity and empowerment to take control of your time. The author discusses strategies for identifying and overcoming procrastination. This includes taking the time to do a weekly review of your schedule using questions like what was/wasn't a good use of time. Reflecting on scheduling items that get continually postponed can help identify patterns around when you have the energy/focus to tackle certain tasks. Scheduling tasks during power hours can help. Using daily themes, like administrative tasks or making outbound calls, can help prime your mindset to focus on certain types of work rather than wondering what to do each day. To address why a specific task gets postponed, identify what about it feels overwhelming, what information is needed first, or if it just seems like it will take a long time. Breaking up large tasks can help overcome these hurdles. Regular time reviews, looking for opportunities to declutter unnecessary commitments, and learning from decisions around rescheduling tasks can help keep schedules optimized over time. Here are the key points about what makes us more likely to procrastinate. Tasks that are boring, frustrating, difficult, ambiguous, unstructured, lacking an intrinsic reward, or not meaningful are more likely to be procrastinated on. The more of these attributes a task has, the more mental resistance we have to doing it. Identifying which attributes apply to a task can help us address the procrastination. For example, making a boring task more enjoyable, getting help for a frustrating one, breaking down a difficult one, etc. Other tactics for dealing with procrastination include breaking large tasks into smaller steps, Swiss cheese approach, pre-preparing parts of a task so it's easier to start, stopping in the middle rather than at natural endings, and estimating time required to make tasks seem more doable. Putting time estimates on tasks makes them seem less daunting and helps schedule tasks more effectively based on available time slots. The passage stresses the importance of downtime and rest for promoting creativity and productive time. True productivity requires balancing uptime, work time, with downtime. Some of the best places people generate ideas are during downtime activities like showering, commuting, or unrelated tasks like exercising. This shows the value of allowing the mind to wander during rest periods. Creativity often involves making new connections between separate ideas, which is difficult when the active brain is constantly engaged in tasks. Downtime allows the reflective brain to operate and come up with new ideas. Managers should evaluate employee productivity over longer timeframes rather than daily outputs. Vacations and rest periods allow employees to recharge and be more productive overall. Downtime doesn't need to be long blocks of time, but even short breaks of 20 minutes can aid processing and idea generation. Activities like walks, lunch away from work, and workouts all count as valuable downtime. Some of the most effective downtime is spent alone and in silence, giving the mind freedom to wander without external stimuli. Regular periods of silence each day are important for creativity, just as they are beneficial for children. Hybrid work, where people work from different locations on varying schedules, requires new routines and adapting to different environments for optimal productivity and focus. People tend to fit into two categories: home-basers who focus better at home, and outfielders who focus better in an office. Scheduling and workspace setup should cater to individual preferences. Home-basers should schedule large blocks of focus time on home days, while saving smaller tasks for office days. Outfielders do the opposite. Even if the work environment doesn't allow for hybrid flexibility, individuals can still adjust routines. Outfielders can work remotely from coffee shops, co-working spaces. Home-basers can use headphones in the office. Effective collaboration in hybrid teams requires clear communication of locations, utilizing digital tools to facilitate communication, scheduling communication-heavy days together in the office if possible. Adaptive approach is important as individual and team needs may change over time. Flexibility and communication are key to optimizing hybrid work arrangements. The concept of state dependency refers to how our brains associate certain contexts, location, environment, sensory cues, with certain tasks and modes of thinking. Having dedicated hotspots for specific types of work can help leverage this natural brain tendency to get into the right mindset for tasks. Examples of hotspots include a certain chair for doing expenses, a coffee shop for reading documents, the front porch for reading industry news, a desk for responding to emails, home office with dual monitors for coding, office with door closed for content writing. Pairing hotspots with a structured calendar template and analyzing your focus preferences for location, home versus office, can help optimize productivity in hybrid work environments. The goal is to condition your brain through consistent associations between physical contexts and mental states of focus for different types of work. So in summary, the chapter discusses how consciously designing hotspots or dedicated workspaces for specific tasks can help optimize productivity by taking advantage of state dependency effects in the brain. Here are the key points about boundaries when working productively. It's important to set boundaries around your time and priorities while still maintaining good relationships and collaboration with others. You don't have to choose between being protective of your time or being well-liked. Establish boundaries like asking to see a meeting agenda beforehand or saying no to new projects if they don't align with your priorities. Do this in a friendly manner so you remain approachable. Consistency is key. If people know your working style and that you value focus time, they won't take it personally when you enforce boundaries. Boundaries allow you to execute your work strategically according to your plan and time blocks. This actually promotes better collaboration in the long run by helping you do high-quality work. Set boundaries respectfully by communicating proactively, sending agendas in advance, and making it clear it's not personal. You have a system that works for maximizing your contributions. With consistency, it becomes your brand. The main idea is that boundaries are important for productivity, but you can set them in a way that maintains good working relationships and your reputation as someone easy to work with. Consistency and clear communication are key. An efficient way to better manage your availability and access is by using an assistant as a buffer for your time. Have your assistant book all your meetings in sync on a daily basis. Decide if you want to take a passive or active. Block time. Schedule committed time during your day when you're in complete focus mode and not available. Mark it on your calendar as busy. Protect it at all costs. Morning meetings. Avoid scheduling meetings right when you arrive in the morning. Use this time for daily planning and focus work before you're pulled into back-to-back meetings. Afternoons. If mornings are your sharper time, schedule collaborative meetings then and keep afternoons more open-ended and solo-focused. Or vice versa depending on your natural energy cycle. Standing meetings. Consider if your standing weekly meetings are still the highest ROI use of time. Meetings you've always had on your calendar might no longer serve the same purpose. Email free. Take committed time even a few times per week where you are completely unavailable and don't check emails. This prevents constant micro-interruptions from taking over your time and focus. These strategies help avoid burnout by preserving your energy and focus for the activities that really matter. Your boundaries and communication preferences communicate the same thing. Respect my time is valuable and I promise to respect yours. For meetings with people outside your regular priorities, like those seeking career advice, start with short 10-minute time slots to test demand and fit it into your schedule. Establish rules for these office hours like requiring materials to be shared in advance or including relevant decision makers. Group similar recurring meetings together to be more efficient, like combining separate engineering group meetings into one shared Q&A session. Consider shorter meeting times in general, like 15 minutes, and consolidating repeat check-ins or one-on-ones into larger group meetings. When possible, conduct meetings or tasks simultaneously with others, like walking meetings or lunch meetings, to make the most of your time. Clearly communicating boundaries upfront reduces the need to decline requests later. Referencing established boundaries when saying no makes it less personal. Having boundaries gives structure and flexibility versus ad hoc scheduling changes. It supports work relationships and personal work-life balance. Here is a summary of key points from the chapter. Planning is important for effectively getting work done and being productive. Last minute or day of planning leads to more resistance and less effectiveness. Taking a few minutes to plan out the next day hour by hour the night before makes a big difference. It allows tasks to soak in and for your brain to mentally prepare. Using triggers like when I see X, I plan for Y can help build planning habits, like planning a gift when getting an invite or adding to your grocery list when running out of an item. Planning gets easier the more you do it, as you learn timing, pitfalls to avoid, and what works best for your workflow. It frees up mental space. Proper planning energizes and enthuses us for the future. It saves time in the long run compared to last-minute efforts. Planning is a gift from present to future self. The chapter then shifts to discussing meetings, noting executives can spend up to 23 hours in meetings per week. Meetings should be an excellent use of time to be worthwhile. It lays out how to evaluate if a meeting is needed, set an agenda and goals, keep it focused and on track, and make the most of discussion. The goal is to make meetings meaningful rather than wasteful of people's time. Meetings should have a clear purpose, information sharing, creative discussion, consensus decision-making, or connection. The purpose should be shared with participants. An agenda sent in advance helps maximize time and ensure the right people attend. It allows participants to prepare and determine if their attendance is needed. Define the intended result or outcome of a successful meeting. Follow up with notes, action items, and decisions clearly communicated. Invite the minimum number of attendees needed to accomplish the goal. Make sure all participants will actively engage or guide and value. Aim for a short meeting time initially, like 15 to 30 minutes. Respect other people's time by keeping meetings brief and on topic. Check periodically if recurring meeting frequency is still appropriate. Consider limiting meetings to a set number of occurrences to reevaluate the cadence. The key points are to have a clear purpose, send an agenda in advance, define intended results, keep the participant list small, respect others' time with brief meetings, and reevaluate recurring meeting frequency periodically. This helps ensure meetings are run efficiently and maximize value for attendees. Here are the key points about improving your productivity with tools. Take time to learn the settings and options of the tools you use regularly, like your email client, calendar, documents apps, etc. Fully understanding what a tool can do can reveal many productivity-boosting features. Customize your tools by changing settings like label colors, shortcuts, templates, etc. This allows you to organize your workflow in a way that makes sense for you. Tools on their own don't necessarily boost productivity, it's how you use them intelligently with intention and by knowing their full capabilities. Stay up to date on new features by checking for updates, release notes, or getting tips from power users. Advanced features you aren't aware of can't help you. Small tweaks or learning one new feature per week can accumulate over time into major productivity gains. Don't underestimate how much time settings and customizations can save. Share productivity tips to help others optimize their tools. Explaining how a feature worked for you can inspire new ways others use applications. So in summary, take time to truly master the tools you rely on for work by learning shortcuts, customizing interfaces, and exploring advanced options. This approach will help maximize what your existing tools can do for your workflow. Here is a summary of the key points from the settings section. Spend 20 minutes exploring the settings and options of any tools or products you use frequently, like your phone, email, dishwasher, etc. This allows you to customize and optimize them for your own workflows. Customize notifications to only show you what you want to see, when you want to see it. This prevents unnecessary distractions. Learn keyboard shortcuts for common tasks in your most used programs/apps. This can save hours over time by allowing faster navigation without a mouse. Consider turning off your mouse or putting it away occasionally to force yourself to learn and use keyboard shortcuts. Artificial intelligence tools can be helpful for generating content, but require human feedback and judgment. Learn how your tools integrate AI and what prompts work best. Little customizations like color coding or emojis can make your workflows more visually appealing and fun, improving motivation and adherence. Taking some time upfront to explore settings and customizations pays off, with a big increase in productivity long-term by optimizing your tools and reducing distractions. Here is a summary of the key points about distractions from the passage. Distractions are one of the biggest challenges to staying focused and productive. It can take over 20 minutes to regain focus after an interruption. The best way to deal with distractions is to prevent them before they occur. Just like childproofing a home, you can childproof your workspace to minimize distractions. Specifically, you should close unneeded windows and tabs, turn off notifications, sign out of messaging apps, and move your phone out of reach before starting focused work. This prepares your environment so distractions don't enter. Checking email too frequently can be distracting. The passage recommends checking only 2 to 3 times per day and closing email during power hours when you need deep focus without interruptions. Multitasking is ineffective and actually takes much longer than focusing on one task at a time. The brain needs to reorient each time it switches tasks. Doing one focused task at a time, without distraction, allows you to complete work more quickly and with higher quality. Proper preparation and monotasking are keys to avoiding distraction. Here is a summary of the key points from the chapter. Email has become a major source of work anxiety and stress for many people. It is often the first and last thing people interact with each day. Checking email frequently throughout the day is inefficient and distracting. People should aim to close their email programs periodically to focus. The chapter proposes a laundry method for efficiently managing email in 3 steps. Remove emails you don't need to see by filtering or unsubscribing from newsletters. Spend 30 minutes purging unnecessary emails. Make important emails stand out using labels, flags or filters so the priority is clear at a glance. Sort your email like doing laundry, group similar emails together and fully clear your inbox instead of leaving it partially done. Following these 3 steps can help people gain control over their inbox, feel less stressed, and be more responsive and productive with their email. Checking email frequently and leaving the inbox perpetually full is as inefficient as doing laundry piecemeal. The laundry metaphor teaches us to manage our email inbox in batches, like doing laundry, rather than constantly checking it. Set aside specific times each day to go through your inbox rather than checking it sporadically. Sort emails into piles/folders for different action types, like respond, read, revisit. This is similar to sorting clothes into piles for folding, hanging, etc. Handle one pile at a time until it's complete, to gain the benefits of batch processing tasks. Minimize how many times you touch/revisit each email, just like minimizing handling clothes more than necessary. Treat sorting, reading, and responding as separate steps done at different times, not mixed together. Even if you can't complete a pile today, you know where everything is located for next time, just like having an unfinished pile of clothes to hang up later. In Gmail, use labels similar to laundry basket/folders and block out specific times on your calendar to manage different pieces of your inbox each day. Respond to emails, read emails, revisit pending emails, and then archive/delete emails once the task is complete. Manage your inbox proactively each day to avoid it piling up, and know where you stand on responding to important emails. Here are the key points about when-then routines from the summary. Routines create rhythm and structure in our lives, which helps us feel less overwhelmed with tasks. About 45% of our daily behaviors are habits. Routines feel more natural than forcing habits. Theming each day of the week for tasks like meal planning, for example meatless Mondays, pasta Tuesdays, makes the tasks less daunting by narrowing the scope. When-then routines are effective for building new behaviors. For example, when I get home from work, then I will practice piano for 30 minutes. The trigger of an existing daily activity helps ensure the new behavior actually gets done, rather than staying on a to-do list indefinitely. When-then routines make it easy to intentionally schedule important but less preferred tasks like practicing an instrument into one's routine. The key takeaway is that when-then routines leverage existing daily triggers or rhythms to build new, productive habits and behaviors in a sustainable way. This helps avoid having tasks get stuck on to-do lists by providing a clear time and prompt for when they will be done. The author decided to learn new piano songs by creating a routine to practice every night after putting her daughter to bed. She called this Swiss cheesing the goal to make it feel achievable. At first she would just sit at the piano for 5 minutes, playing songs she already knew. Gradually she increased her practice time and started learning new songs. Establishing this routine as a trigger following her daughter's bedtime helped it become a habit in just 66 days, faster than the average. The concept of when then was used to set routines, choosing a specific time or trigger to prompt an action. Some examples of her routines are doing laundry on Mondays, going on a date the second Saturday, etc. When then can also be used as a memory tool, associating something you need to remember with something you'll do in the future to recall it. Taking advantage of natural calendar starts like Mondays or the first of the month can help routines stick better than random days. The author proposes having a no-tech Tuesday each week to get time away from devices for undivided focus and joy of missing out on notifications and updates. The passage discusses how technology has reduced our opportunities for mental silence and focus. In the past, people would have long journeys without distractions, but now we constantly check our phones. It advocates doing a digital detox by examining our relationship with technology. Are we constantly on our phones even when spending time with friends and family? The author tried doing a no-tech Tuesday where they would put away devices between dinner and bedtime one night a week. They found it relaxing and that it improved their sleep and connections with others. The author started a No-Tech Tuesday challenge at Google where over 2,500 people participate each year. Survey results found it reduced stress, improved well-being and performance, and most plan to continue it. Qualitative feedback cited improved sleep, more time to connect with others, and better problem-solving after taking a break from technology. Tips are provided for smaller digital detox steps like limiting phone use before bed, leaving the phone in another room, and using screen time as a reward for other activities. Taking occasional breaks from technology is advocated to boost productivity and relationships. The chapter discusses implementing a Wake-Up Wednesday routine where you spend 30 minutes each Wednesday morning doing something relaxing and enjoyable like meditation, reading, or music without any technology. Starting your day this way helps set the tone for the rest of your day and ensures you make time for yourself before taking on everything else. Simple things like dimming lights, playing relaxing music, and prepping items the night before can help make mornings pleasant and reduce stress. Regular meditation is recommended as it has numerous cognitive and physical benefits including lowering stress, blood pressure, improving focus, attention, memory, and performance. Even 10 minutes a day can make a significant impact. The key benefits highlighted are taking time for yourself in the mornings to relax and recharge before the rest of your day, and incorporating meditation which can boost productivity, focus, mood and overall well-being. Setting up pleasant morning routines is suggested to start the day on a positive note. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help people feel more present, create more space between moments, and bring out small details. This can lead to benefits like being more focused, less stressed, more creative, and mentally clearer. Activities like reading, knitting, playing music, can also foster a meditative state and help increase focus. While not as powerful as meditation, they are attention trainers that complement meditation. Regular reading, even just 6 minutes a day, can reduce stress by 68% and make people more productive. It trains the focus muscle and allows the brain to relax into different activities. Mindfulness can be incorporated throughout the day in small moments, like the first sip of coffee, showers, drives, meals, conversations, and transitions between activities. Implementing any of these productivity practices, even partially, can make a positive impact on one's work and life. Small changes in direction are more important than speed. When starting, focus on the 1 to 3 practices that resonated most from what you learned in the book. Gradually implement the techniques you're most drawn to. Here is a summary of the provided text. The passage discusses personal productivity and what truly indicates success. Rather than solely looking at outward outputs and goals, the best measure is how you feel. Do you feel rejuvenated, in control of your work, creative, present, balanced and energized? This state is referred to as uptime. The author acknowledges that life brings unexpected challenges like having 3 young children and a busy job. However, using the time management techniques in the book allows getting back on track. The hope is that readers can gain confidence in accomplishing work and living well through applying the strategies. Ultimately, mastering uptime means seamlessly executing one's priorities, interests and intentions while also finding well-being. It's about holistic achievement in all areas of life. Readers now have the tools, it's up to them to take action and see the benefits of increased productivity, effectiveness and clarity. Here is a summary of the sources provided. According to a 2011 study by Marika B. Wyeth and Rose T. Zaks, problem-solving ability varies depending on the time of day, with non-peak hours sometimes being optimal. Many successful business leaders, including Elon Musk, Richard Branson, and Jack Dorsey, have very regimented daily routines that drive their productivity. A 2001 study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that executive functions involved in task switching are sensitive to task practice. In his book Solving the Procrastination Puzzle, Timothy A. Pitchell identifies 7 common attributes that lead to task procrastination. Simone Davis and Jennifer Ozodike's book The Montessori Baby discusses how boredom allows children to focus inward and use their imagination. A 2020 blog post by Shahram Heshmat discusses 5 benefits of boredom, citing studies showing it can improve creativity. A 2014 study used a double-blind experiment to show that boredom can lead to increased creativity in idea generation tasks. A 2021 replication study found similar results to a 1975 experiment, which found that memory is better on land versus underwater. A 2017 Harvard Business Review survey found that most middle managers see meetings as unproductive yet unavoidable. In 2007 article in the MIT Sloan Management Review discussed the science and realities of workplace meetings. A 2010 study found that employee satisfaction with meetings is positively associated with overall job satisfaction. Cameron Herold's book Meetings Suck recommends limiting meetings to 7 people or fewer for effectiveness. A calculation by education platform Breathscape estimated billions could be gained from increased productivity keyboard shortcuts. A 2008 University of California, Irvine study found that interrupting people during tasks increases stress and slows performance. Sean Acor's book The Happiness Advantage recommends completing tasks within 20 seconds to maintain motivation. Research shows email open rates increased during the COVID-19 pandemic as people managed information overload. Studies have found knowledge workers check email around 11 times per hour on average. One IBM study found people wasted almost a third of workday on email organization tasks. A 2006 Duke University study showed habits are better reformed by separating them from context/mindset cues. Research published in the European Journal of Social Psychology in 2009 evaluated how habits are formed in real-world settings. Daniel Pink's book When discusses how temporal landmarks like daily routines help to form habits. An article in Psychology Today discusses JOMO, the joy of missing out on excessive stimulation. Research shows meditation can reduce stress and anxiety levels with even brief 6-minute sessions. Regular reading has been shown help reduce stress levels according to a 2009 University of Sussex study. Here is a brief summary of the key points about productivity practices from the book. The author advocates for list making as a fundamental productivity technique and describes tools like collection lists and a list funnel to stay organized. Meetings are discussed as an important part of work, with tips provided around setting agendas, determining necessity, managing length and frequency, and following up on results. Time management strategies include prioritizing top tasks, recurring time reviews, implementing zero-based calendaring, and blocking out dedicated hours for focus work. Beating procrastination involves techniques such as assigning duration times to tasks, scheduling work for a more motivated time of day, and using tactics like the Swiss cheese method. Maintaining work-life balance is covered as well, with suggestions for implementing routines, utilizing downtime, and establishing boundaries around technology use.